Hi there, today we're going to make a lovely, comforting tomato soup. Good to have in the summer, especially good to have in the winter. It's going to be rich tasting, thick and creamy without using cream. So the ingredients we're going to use are tomatoes. These are plum tomatoes. We like using plum tomatoes for this soup because it has a deep tomatoey flavor. Vegetable oil, vegan butter, turmeric, salt, red chili powder. If you don't want it spicy and you want it milder, you can use paprika powder, which is a lot milder. Cardamom powder as well. Whole black peppercorns here. If you don't have whole black peppercorns, you can use black pepper powder. Onion, freshly picked basil leaves, 4 cloves of garlic, a 1-inch piece of ginger. We're also going to use coriander, but we're not going to use the leaves of the coriander. We're going to use the stems because the stems alone impart its own unique flavor. Turn on your gas, add some oil. Just roughly chop your tomatoes. Once you've chopped the tomatoes, put it into the pan. Add a little bit of water just to help it cook down and create steam. You don't want too much water, just a little bit. So just bring up the heat a little bit to a medium heat. Add the black peppercorn. You just want to add a little bit of turmeric. Add per your taste the red chili powder. A small pinch of the cardamom powder. Add the garlic and the piece of ginger. We're going to add roughly half a teaspoon of salt. Bear in mind when you add your salt that you're going to add butter, or we're going to use vegan butter that has its own salt as well, so just bear that in mind when you add your salt. Give it a good stir. So now on a medium heat, you want to just let the tomatoes simmer away for about 15 to 20 minutes on a medium heat. So around about 10 minutes later, you can see that the water started coming out of the tomatoes, so give it a little stir. Cover and continue to cook. Okay, so this is about 20 minutes. The tomatoes have reduced perfectly down. Take it off the flame, and onto the flame put another pan. Take your butter, and like I said, we're using vegan butter in this instance. You can use real butter if you want, but this is a vegan recipe, so we've used vegan spread. So you just want to roughly chop your onion. Put the onion into fry. So you just want to saute the onion quickly for about a minute or two on a high heat. So you want to remove the leaves from the stem of the coriander. keep aside the stems. So you've added the cooked down tomatoes to the onions. Just roughly chop the stems of the coriander and add to the pot. Just give it a gentle stir. Cover and cook for about 5 minutes on a medium heat. Okay, so the tomatoes have been simmering for about 5 minutes now. Turn off the heat. Put it aside and let it cool down for about 5 or 10 minutes. So once the mix has cooled down, you want to blend everything together now. Take most of the basil, keep aside a few for the garnish into the pan. And you want to blend everything together using your hand blender. Just a pre-warning before you start using the blender that you blend it on a slow speed because it may start to splatter if you blend it on a high speed. So now you've blended the ingredients together, you want to sieve it into another pan so you get rid of any skin or any lumpy bits. Now you've sieved out all the hard bits, you're left with a very smooth, creamy, rich, thick, intensely tomato flavoured soup. So the soup is almost ready. When you want to serve this, you want to reheat and simmer the soup for about 10 or 15 minutes and then it's ready to serve. You want to garnish the soup when you serve it with chopped basil leaves. At this point, the soup's cooled down. It'll need to be reheated for about 10 to 15 minutes. We're just going to reheat the amount that's needed. I'll just reheat the soup on a medium heat. Just going to chop the basil for garnish. And as soon as you cut into it, you can smell the intense aroma of the basil. So this has been bubbling away for about 10 minutes and you can see that it's taken on more of a red colour. We'll leave it for a few more minutes and then it's going to be ready. So the soup's been bubbling away quietly and it's ready to serve. Garnish the soup with the freshly chopped basil. Serve the soup while it's still piping hot. and enjoy. Careful you don't burn your lips while it's still piping hot. Oh my god, that's so good. The soup is fresh tasting, has a perfect natural sweetness from the tomatoes without the addition of any sugar. It has a little bit of fire from the chili powder that's been used. The freshly chopped basil adds its own unique flavour and mellows out some of the acidity of the tomatoes. There's an intense tomato flavour because we've used plum tomatoes. Have a taste with a chunk of the toasted sourdough bread. This soup by itself without the bread is a perfect winter warmer and very soothing if you have a cold and want something light for your throat. The toasted sourdough bread dipped in the tomato soup, absolutely perfect. You don't need any more on this plate. Ultimate comfort food. Perfect in the summer and even better in the winter. I hope you enjoyed the video. Please do try the recipe and let us know what you think. Please comment, like and subscribe if you haven't subscribed already, and press the all bell icon. Until next time, God bless.